This is the plaintiff, Alyssa. She says the nasty defendant attacked her little 9-pound dog with a cane, and he hit her so hard he knocked her eyeball out of the socket. Her dog needed surgery, needs 2 more surgeries, and the rude man refuses to apologize and pay her the $5,000 he owes, so she's suing him. This is the defendant, Carl Koenig. He says he was walking his dog on a leash and the plaintiff's Pomeranian dog got out of his fenced-in yard and came at him in attack mode. The little dog lunged at him. He hit the dog in self-defense with his walking cane, and here they are. By the way, according to the American Kennel Club, Pomeranians are big dogs in little bodies who attack the neck of their victims. So he had every right to protect himself. He's accused of taking a whack at it.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated, come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Alyssa, you are suing Carl Koenig for $5,000 in medical bills, surgery, and future medical expenses for your dog because, according to you, he viciously attacked him. Tell me what happened.
Okay, so on May 11th, 2014, I had some friends over. We were all in my backyard, which was fenced in. My small dog, Sasha, was outside with us, and she saw someone going by with another dog, ran and snuck through a little hole in the fence.
How was the hole there?
It didn't really look, we were renting the house, and it didn't look like a dog would actually fit through there.
How many dogs did you have there?
My friend had her dog there as well, the Beagle.
How many dogs would normally live there?
Just my dog, one.
Just Sasha?
Yeah.
So had Sasha ever gotten out before?
No.
So Sasha gets out into the open, to the street, right? To where they were. Okay. And you're walking, and Sasha's what kind of dog?
Pomeranian.
How big is Sasha? Show me with your hand. Okay. What kind of dog do you have?
A Border Collie mix.
How big is your dog? Show me with your hands.
Probably about 55 pounds.
Okay. And had you walked your dog in that area before?
Yes. We don't live too far apart, or we didn't.
Was your dog on a leash?
Yes.
All right, so go on.
I got up to get Sasha, but she had run, and then all of a sudden I hear a yelp, and I ran faster to get her, picked her up on the little grass outside, which is technically my lawn, but outside of the fence, and I just picked her up, and her eyes started filling up.
You didn't see him and his dog on your lawn.
I saw him walking
Wait, I haven't asked my question yet. You didn't see him and his dog on your lawn, right?
No.
Okay, go on. So you see him when Sasha's on your lawn. You see him doing what?
He was walking away, and then he swung his cane at the fence where the other dog was barking, the Beagle, my friend's dog. She was running along the fence barking, and I saw him swinging the cane, and he swung his cane up against the fence. But I was like pretty hysterical and just kind of, my dog's eye was filling up with blood. So
what'd you do?
Luckily I had friends over. They drove me to the emergency vet because I was like shaking, and the dog went into shock. She looked like she was basically having a seizure. And we went to the emergency vet, and she had gotten a proptosis globe, which means that her eye fell out of the socket, and they had to surgically repair that.
Okay. Do you have a picture of the dog?
Yeah, I have
Before and after?
Yeah.
How did you find who the defendant was since he was walking away? I mean, nobody ran after him when he was walking away and say, hey, what happened here? Nobody?
I was concerned with my animal.
No, I know, but you had a bunch of other people there. One of them could have run over.
Right, but...
Okay. So this is the puppy. This is Sasha before.
Right.
Oh, poor Sasha. And this is Sasha now. This is how that's the best they could do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to think about this every time you look at her.
Right.
Okay, so how did you find him?
I just asked around the neighborhood. And
anybody know an older gentleman that walks around with a cane banging fences? And everybody knew exactly who you meant?
Yeah, actually.
Okay. All right, so what'd you do?
Well, I didn't really I didn't see it, so I didn't completely know what happened. All I know is I saw him walking away, swinging the cane, and I saw my dog with an eye filling up with blood. So I just went to his house to kind of try to figure out what happened, you know, because if it was the dog that pawed Sasha or something and it was an accident, then that's one thing, you know. But if it's actually done by a human being that deliberately swung a cane at my animal, then I want to know about it. So I went to his house. His daughter answered the door, and I said, you know, there was an event. My dog may lose her eye. I just want to know what happened. And she said, yes, my father came home. He told me the story and everything, and he said that your dog was attacking, and he hit her with the cane as protection. And she said he carries the cane around to protect himself against the animals in the neighborhood.
Are there a lot of loose animals in the neighborhood?
There was one dog, but it was that was a larger dog that in that neighborhood that the owners would leave in the front yard, but it didn't really it wasn't.
When you say the front yard, you mean that the dog was roaming free?
Sometimes.
So did you ever talk to him or no?
No, I never did. If I were to have hurt someone else's kid or animal, I would have offered to pay or at least apologized, and
what happened?
I didn't get that.
What happened?
I'm taking my dog for a walk. Sasha jumped up in the air, bounced off the fence, and wiggled through the little opening in the fence. And then right away, like a speeding bullet, came out. And she didn't do what most dogs do. In fact, I used this defense against their beagle very successfully. What I do...
Wait, what are you saying?
They had the other dog. He got out through the back gate.
Oh. Because
no.
Wait a second. Two dogs got out?
Yeah.
Okay. So, go ahead. So
anyway.
This defense being what?
I'm sorry?
When you say I used this defense against the beagle and it worked,
I've used it against other loose dogs.
Okay.
Further down the block, I was walking my dog one day, and a woman didn't want to meet with the Jehovah's Witnesses, so she let her pit bull out. What ended up happening was they totally ignored the pit bull had totally ignored the Jehovah's Witnesses and came after my dog. What I use the cane for is I also have, I have a Baker's cyst, I have all kinds of arthritis.
Well, you sprinted in here. I did notice that.
I still have a good walk.
I think you bring it for protection.
But I have the cane, and I still walk, because after the surgeries I had, I do a lot of walking. I use the cane, I bounce the cane against the ground, the noise usually stops him, and then I point the tip right at the dog's face, and the dog will stop, which will usually give the owners time to come and retrieve the dog.
How often does it happen that dogs get loose in your neighborhood?
Quite a lot. In fact, I don't know if Alyssa was ever up at 7 o'clock in the morning. We have this these two women, they walk their dog totally off the leash. He's running all over the place.
So when you say, I used this defense on the beagle successfully, you tapped on the ground with the cane.
I tapped on the ground and put it right against, yep.
Okay. I think you got a little too close to this one because...
I didn't have a choice. What ended up happening is I was bringing my cane down in order to try and get some distance, but the little Pomeranian just kept attacking at my dog's throat.
Okay, when you say attacking at your dog's throat, did the Pomeranian actually make contact with your dog, or
no,
didn't get to?
No. What ended up happening is when the dog first came out.
So basically, the dog is rushing towards you and your dog.
I yanked my dog back.
You yank your dog back.
Dog flew by, landed on the ground, jumped right back at my dog's throat. And that's
when you say jumped at your dog's throat. How? Because the dog didn't make contact with your dog's throat. So I'm trying to figure out, where is the dog when your cane flies? Where is the Pomeranian when your cane flies?
About that far away from my dog's neck.
In the air?
Yeah.
So you literally swatted it off with the cane?
I was trying to come back down to try and get it to stop, yes.
Wow, what a disaster, huh?
Yep.
So why didn't you ever go apologize and explain all this? You know she came to your house, she talked to your daughter, she was distraught. Why wouldn't you just make contact, and do kind of the human thing and say, I'm sorry, there's so many loose animals here, it was self-defense, whatever. Why wouldn't you just talk to her?
Because it's not my responsibility to do that. My responsibility is to make sure my dog doesn't attack other people's dogs.
Why don't you let me handle the legal parts of this? I'll handle the legal parts. I'm talking about the human part. I'm talking about the moral part.
I still don't understand.
You don't understand what I'm saying?
My first responsibility is to take care of my dog.
Yeah, we're not asking you that. I'm asking you, when you ended up leaving a puppy, a dog, looking like this for the rest of its life, that she has to look at it, all that, don't you think it would be a human, not humane, human thing to do, to go and speak with her and tell her it couldn't be helped, this is what happened, so that she doesn't have to hate the world? I mean, it doesn't matter to you that what she suffered, she didn't do anything wrong other than that there's a hole and the dog got out. That's not an intentional act. So I understand your conduct when it happened. I don't understand you or your conduct after it happened. I don't know why, even while I'm standing here, when I'm suggesting to you that maybe you should feel a little bad that this happened, that you don't turn around and tell her, I'm sorry. Like, aren't you sorry a little?
Of course.
Tell her that. Tell her that. I want you to tell her that.
I'm really sorry that your dog got, hurt in the process. I really am.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Pomeranian dogs, little tiny dogs, are they aggressive by nature?
Not really. Just a little bit yappy, but usually they're really just really cute.
Are you suggesting small dogs are not aggressive?
I think it depends on their owner.
Are small dogs like Pomeranians aggressive by nature?
I think it's definitely the owner.
Napoleon complex, maybe.
Perhaps.
There you go, going inside the courtroom.
He's walking around with a weapon.
Here's the
beagle
thing,
is
though,
within the fence.
Alyssa, here's the thing, and here's the thing that's, the issue here. You say, well, he shouldn't be walking around with a weapon because he may use it in self-defense. And that's not the issue. The issue was it self-defense? That's the issue. So it's the whole thing is so horrible and unfortunate. But at the end of the day, we have a very small dog. I understand it's a Pomeranian, and yappy dogs are yappy dogs, but yappy dogs can do damage too, And it's coming towards his dog, which is on a leash. And he takes a stick, which is why he brings it, because I saw him run up he was perfectly fine walking. I don't know if you might have had 1,000 surgeries, you're doing great. But he doesn't need the stick to walk, okay? But if he needs a stick to make sure dogs don't attack his dogs who are roaming free, then he needs a stick to make sure dogs don't attack his dogs who are roaming free. I mean, you're implying there's something wrong with that. No, there's something wrong with the neighborhood where dogs get out and dogs, are let out on purpose or get out by accident or whatever else is going on. But what did he do wrong? I mean, did he apply too much force? Well, but that's the thing. When you're saying that, you didn't...
He knocked an eye out of the socket.
Stop. You are assuming that he applied too much force based on the result. But your dog is in a full tilt heading towards his dog. And so how do you testify that he used excessive force and it wasn't just self-defense based on the injury? Your dog's eye would be just as damaged if your dog ran into the stick at full tilt. So you can't testify to how it is that it happened, that he maliciously went like that to poke him in the eye. He just needs one thing, you to be able to get your dog and your dog not to do any damage to his dog. See, we look at the conduct of the humans, not of the dogs. Your dog is being a dog. Your dog is getting out, your dog is, protective. Pomeranians are very protective. Okay, and your dog is getting out, your dog is being protective, or your dog is, you're the one who's violating the law by your dog getting out. You know that, right? I know you don't feel that way because you feel like you're the victim because of everything that happened, but your dog got out, that's illegal. Your dogs aren't supposed to get out. Your holes are supposed to be patched. Your fences are supposed to be intact, okay? So your dog is violating the law, or you're violating the law by your dog being able to get out, and then your dog is doing what dogs are supposed to do. And his dog is doing what dogs are supposed to do because this dog is on a leash. And then he is doing what he feels necessary to protect his dog. And the result was catastrophic. And I would have liked to see, a little bit of human element here, because I don't think we'd be here if there had been a little bit of the human element. But I can't legislate decency. I can only rule on what's in front of me. What's in front of me does not warrant me ordering him to pay for the medicals of your dog because he did not do anything that he did not have a right to do under the circumstances. So I'm very sorry, but my verdict in this case is for the defendant.
So unfortunately, I think all dog lovers will agree they're very sympathetic with your case here and very sad what you had to go through, but legally he's in the right here at this point. How do you feel about this?
I feel like this man's a monster, and I'm happy that everyone can see the kind of person that he is, even if I didn't win. It's unfortunate, and at least Sasha, you know, gets a little bit of recognition for what she's gone through.
How is she doing?
She's good. She's still a happy girl. She's adjusting well to only having one eye.
Well, listen, it's a very sad case. I really sympathize with you as well, but unfortunately, that's the way the law sees it, and your dog did get out, so not much the judge could do. Okay? Thank you very much. You must sign some documents. Now here comes Mr. Koenig. Mr. Koenig, you kind of come off as being rather heartless in this whole thing.
Yes, I'm sorry, I do.
It doesn't make you look good, even though you're in the right. I know that.
This is the first case scenario because I've never had anybody come at my dog like that. I literally almost had no choice. It wasn't that I was intentionally trying to hit the dog. It was just that at the moment my cane was coming down, the dog was leaping, and we met.
Well, I know you tried to apologize. Maybe you can catch her again on the way out and tell her again you're sorry, okay?
Yes.
Might help you look a little better.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
You have a good day.
All right, Harvey, a lot of cases like this, I know. What do you think?
You know, here's the thing, Doug. You can use reasonable self-defense against an animal that's about to bite you. You know, if it's a Pomeranian, they still have the capacity to bite.